one of the more difficult things about here is understanding what commission is and how it works in a situation like this. Let me give you an example, kind of working with this one. Let's say that I am an auto broker, like the person talked about in this question. And let's say that you want to sell your car. There's ways to sell your car, right? You could try to sell it to a dealer or trade it in, but then you don't get very much for that, right? So that's not good. You could try to sell it using Craigslist, right? Or like a newspaper ad, but that's a little risky if you think about it. Exchanging like $10,000 with a stranger could be a little on the scary side, not something I would recommend for everybody. And so maybe your alternative is to come to me, the auto broker, and say, "Hi, auto broker, will you sell my car?" And I say, "Sure," but why would I be motivated to sell your car? Because? Commission for me, right? So commission is basically me taking a piece of your pie, right, so to speak, right, the price of the car, me taking a piece of that price and taking it for myself. Do you see why I would be motivated, right? If I'm going to sell your car and I get nothing out of the deal, it's going to cost me time, it's going to cost me effort, and I feel like I should be paid for my time and effort, right? And that's what my commission is, okay? And so that's what's really going on here. So you, as the person who wants to sell your car, you could try to sell it yourself, but there's the risks and all the things involved with that. Or you could hire me, the auto broker, to sell it for you, but I'm going to cost you something. And in this case, how much am I going to cost you?
$9,500.
No, that's how much you get.
12%.
Notice what it says. You want to receive, so you are the owner of the car, you want to receive $9,500. Right? That's how much you want to end up with in the end. So aren't you going to have to sell your car? Isn't the sale price going to have to be more than $9,500? Why?
Because that's how much we
I'm taking some of it, aren't I? I'm taking some of it. So here's how I would suggest we set this one up. I'm going to say the selling price of the car is P. Selling price of the car, P for price. You could say C for car. I don't know, but I think P for price makes sense. So when you sell your car, what am I going to do as the auto broker?
take away some of the.
I'm going to take away some of your money, aren't I? Because I want to be paid for my time and effort. So what do?
Minus 0.12.
Minus 0.12. Now 0.12, that's a percent, right? 12%?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be 12% of something, right?
Of the price.
Of the price. It says 12% commission. It's based on the price of the car. So it's going to be P minus 0.12 P. What do I want that to equal? If I take the price, subtract the commission, I want to get $9,500 out of the deal. So this is actually your equation right here. So like I said before, we'll do the math here in a second. I think you guys will, as before, you'll find the math to be relatively easy, relatively straightforward. The key here is understanding what is commission, how does it work, and how do I set it up, right? That's going to be the main thing. Let's try to work our way through this equation. What's the coefficient on the letter P right now? The first one.
1.
It's a 1 because it's just a P, so it's 1P. So when I'm adding my like terms, I need to combine my coefficients. What is 1 minus 0.12? So if I add my like terms over here, I get 0.88. P is equal to 9,500. And then the algebra, what do we do next to solve for P?
Divide by 0.88.
So when I divide by 0.88, I don't get that 80,000 number that we were looking at earlier. What do I get?
10,795.
10,795, according to Jake, 0.45.
Yep.
That would be in dollars and cents there. $10,795.45. So if I sell my car for that much, I'm only going to get $9,500 back to me. Can you guys figure out how many dollars in commission that would be for me, the auto broker?
Too much.
Too much. That's your opinion. I need to feed my family somehow, Rocky. So how would you figure out the commission that I get as the auto broker?
Multiply that by
Not multiplied.
Subtract.
Couldn't you subtract? What would you subtract, Rocky?
12%. 10,795.45 minus 9,500.
So I'm hearing two good ideas. And you know what? Both ideas are correct. So Christiana just said multiply by 0.12. Multiply what by 0.12?
10,795 and
45 cents. There we go. That would give me the commission for me, right?
Yes.
But then Rocky's idea was, why not take this 10,795 number minus 9,500, wouldn't that also give me my commission?
Yes.
So there'd be two ways to go about that, and I think they'd both work. They'd both work fine. Okay, any questions or comments or thoughts before we move on to our other problem for this morning? Other review problem? Okay, awesome. Keep working, it's okay. So we're going to make a little table here with amounts and values. So I'm going to have something like, I'll just go with P for phones. Oops, let's try that again. P for phones, L for laptops, D for desktop computers. And I'm going to have an amount first. I'm going to have a cost, and then I'll have the final or total amount over here. So I think the cost is the easiest part, right? The phones are $425, so I'll just put $425 right there. The laptops are $975, and the desktop computers are $1,200. The amounts are a little bit tougher. It does say that he plans to buy 3 times as many phones as desktop computers and twice as many laptops as desktop computers. So here's what I would say. Wouldn't it be fair to say that the phones and the laptops are both being compared to the desktop computers? So I would make the desktop computer number my X, and then I can build off of that. So desktop computers, they're going to buy X of them. So I'm going to buy twice as many laptops as desktops, so it's going to be 2X. And then with the phones, I am going to buy 3 times as many, so it'd be 3X. But then notice at the end it says he's going to purchase 10 extra phones, maybe as backups in case somebody loses theirs. So it's got to be 3X plus 10 more for the amount of phones that Eric is going to buy. Follow that okay? So to find the final amount, I need to take the amount, or the final cost, I guess, or the final value. I'm going to take the amount times the cost. So down here it's going to be 1,200X. Right here it's going to be, let's see here, 975, 1950, yeah, 1950X. And then I've got to use the distributive property when I multiply here. So 425, this was that, 1275? Help me, 1275, yeah, 1275X. And that would be plus 4250. So I am going to get the basis of one side of my equation from this final column here. So I'm going to total them up, right? I'm going to add them up. So it's going to be 1275X plus 4250 plus 1950X. I'm going to run out of room here, aren't I? Plus 1200X. And what does that equal?
4425.
No, what's the total bill?
185,670.
Yeah, 185,675. That's if I add everything up, that's how much it's going to cost. I've got a bunch of like terms in there. Can you guys tell us what? Well, let's see. We can figure this out. So it'd be 1475. That'd be 2475. 64. Is it 6425X? 44. Oh yeah, 4425. You're right. So 4425X.
That's what I started to say when you asked what that equals.
Gotcha. Plus 4250. And can you see how solving this for you guys at this point is probably pretty easy? Just subtract 4250 from both sides. And then divide both sides by 4425. So when you do that, when you actually do the division, how does it end up working out for X? Was 41 really the right answer? 41, okay. So yeah, 41. So what did X stand for in the beginning?
The amount of computers.
Amount of computers that I got, right? X stands for the number of computers. And notice that that's exactly what it asks. It says, how many desktop computers did he buy? And so X actually is the thing that we want. We don't have to go back and plug stuff in. And so X equals 41 would just be the end of it. He's going to buy 41 desktop computers, and he's done. All right, so what do you guys think? Is that logical, understandable, organizable?
Yeah.
All those things? Okay, fantastic. You guys did a great job. Definitely